Hello, making a new video. Today we're gonna take a look at my 10-game win streak with this very funny, spicy team here that I stole from for the battles. Gonna link her, of course, in the description as well. Found this on Twitter and thought, hey, I kinda need another video for the Premier Cup and I kinda want to use something more funny. And today, we're going to take a look at the Aggron here, the Shadow Aggron with Smackdown, Stone Edge, and also Meteor Beam. I really wish that Aggron would have got like another move that's, I know, like around 40 to 45 energy, that's from a different type. That would really help us out here while the first opponent just quits out anyway. But Aggron only has otherwise access to Heavy Slam, which you could use, which would be, for example, better against something like a Credilli here. But also, this team is amazing and just catching all those Charizards and trapping them. But also, Heavy Slam is kind of a garbage move. Then you have Thunder, which hits flying types. Oh wait, you already hit flying types with all the other moves. Of course, you would be better off against something like maybe a Water type, but then the difference is also not that huge compared to like a Meteor Beam, which is stab and just does a ton of damage. So there is no really good option for a secondary move for the Aggron, so I hope that we someday get like a cheaper, I don't know, cheaper rock type move would be cool, maybe rock slide even, but also like maybe a cheaper steel type move. I really wish that we had more steel type moves available, but sadly right now there is nothing that's really that good. If you would boost Iron Head, you would also boost something like Dialga, so it's a little bit tricky. Maybe boost Heavy Slam though. Heavy Slam is something that Dialga doesn't have, I think, so that would be cool. Here we will be able to take out this Talonflame and the opponent going to forfeit there as well. This team was a ton of fun. Was also actually pretty fast to play the games with them compared like in general for Ultra League. Here as Cavalier in the lead, you know already, it's most likely going to be my team, but I showcased basically immediately when this cup came out. So it's going to be very likely at least a double flyer in the back, and that's what we're going to hope for. That's why we're going to stay in here, and that's why we're going to go ahead and go for 2 Frenzy Plants. This Pokemon is a core breaker for the entire team, it would beat everything. But because we're going to have our Ampharos here now, I will be able to shield up one move there, and I expect them to have most likely a Dragonite in the back, but I can still get to another charge move here, which is amazing. And we're gonna get them lower as well, which is amazing, as they're going to go ahead and throw another charge move here. I can shield this move up, and if they have a Dragonite, they're most likely going to swap into that right now, and they do, allowing me to go for 1 Thunder Punch, and allowing me to pressure them to go for 1 Dragon Claw. This Thunder Punch puts them into range for another one, but also puts them now into range for my Shadow Aggron, which is lurking in the back there, allowing me to farm them all the way down here, getting a ton of energy. They're gonna go into the Cavalier now, which is nice for us as well, because our fast move is not resisted. We're going to do neutral damage, they do double super effective damage. But as we expect the Gyarados in the back, we can go ahead and go for 1 big Stone Edge and say goodbye to that one here as well. Stone Edge is just on our moveset right now because you get there 1 turn, like 1 fast move faster than compared to Meteor Beam. Meteor Beam is the better move usually, but you get there just faster, which helps out, for example, in this matchup. I don't know if I would have got to the Meteor Beam in time, but Stone Edge was easily enough, and the Heavy Slam wouldn't have been enough, for example, so that's that. What is also that is going to be the Venusaur matchup here. This is really annoying because Venusaur is one of the Pokemon that I don't want to face here. I can go ahead and go into my own Venusaur, get a ton of energy. I can take 2 Sludge Bombs theoretically, but you see the IVs on my right side for my Venusaur. This is a lucky traded one from early on, like first season of Go Battle League, and I still have it and I still haven't built a better one. But this means we win CMP no matter what, so I went for the CMP tie instead. We see the War Rank coming in here. They're going to go for 1 charge move. I have to shield if it's an Earthquake. It is an Earthquake, it would have knocked us out, but we see now a Jellicent coming in. This looks like a loss to me. There's no lot that I can do here. I can go for 1 Meteor Beam at least. They have even Bubble there. Like, there's nothing I can do here really, so it's going to be a good game. But actually, they let this move go through. Like, wait, what? They're gonna go for the Shadow Ball as well. Like, why? Hi opponent, you know that you could use shields if you wanted to, but I guess the opponent underestimated the power of Shadow Aggron, so goodbye there. Next opponent, horrible lead again. So you see, I don't even get all the good leads, and I don't even get good Sasops. I face 2 XL Dragalge here, which is one of the most annoying, most bulkiest Pokemon in this meta. I hate facing this Pokemon. This is just a very strong one, and they're actually going to be able to knock me out here with 1 Outrage. I didn't think that they would go for the Outrage yet, so that's going to be a tough one, as I have to shield here as well. They have Awkward Tail. That's going to be a very good coverage move against this team in general, and there's nothing that really beats Dragalge. Now we are losing shield advantage, we lose switch advantage, and we have now a lantern perfectly aligned against us, but we can catch the surf here at least. But look at the team matchup right now. We have an Auroras, we have basically completely getting hardwalled the entire game here, and there's nothing I can really do about it. They can go for a move, I can still get the shield most likely here with a frenzy plant. They have to shield here actually. But, like, what am I supposed to do here? There's nothing that I can do. I can go for a Meteor Beam. Maybe they shield, they could shield, and they do shield, which now brings me to a position where I can shield up the move, which is going to be their Meteor Beam, which would still do a ton of damage. I can just farm them down. They get to another move. Please don't be a Meteor Beam. Please don't be a Meteor Beam. It's going to be a Weather Ball. And we see the own Meteor Beam coming through now. And we are boosted +1. We are Shadow. And we can say goodbye to that Lantern and to the Auroras. Wild. Like, honestly, that Pokemon is just so wild. Mega Aggron. I always say Mega Aggron. Shadow Aggron is amazing, as you see another Ninetales coming in against us. I actually think if they go for 2 Dazzling Gleams, I wouldn't be able to farm them all the way down, but I'm not sure about that. They're gonna go for Weather Balls here, which is fine for me. They just spam those, which I don't really care too much about it. And I will be able to just farm them all the way, pressuring the opponent that comes in there as well with a shield, or like they get a lot of health gone from their Pokemon. As I can just go straight for my charge move here. That's going to be the Jellicent. Again, I have 2 good answers for the Jellicent, so I kind of want to swap out here, as you can see here as well. And I'm going to keep my Aggron alive, as I can actually shield this move up. It's going to be the Shadow Ball, and I have a lot of energy now. We see the Scrafty coming in. So this is a very decent matchup for us. We have 2 answers for the Scrafty still available. Our Ampharos is neutral, and our Venusaur has a very good matchup for that one, as well as our Venusaur still has a very good matchup against the opponent's Jellicent in the back, as we can still go for another charge move here, trying to knock them out or get the final shield. We're gonna get them pretty low, but it's still going to be a tough one. Not gonna lie, it might be a little bit tricky, but they're gonna go for another foul play. I will be able to go for another charge move, but I guess my opponent decides to forfeit there. I feel like they had still a chance of winning this game, but I take the easy win. Also, we finally have a good lead here, and we have a horrible Scizor. Hell yeah. At this point of time, I did not know that it was my first encounter with Dragalge. Always the gameplay is a little bit randomized. So I didn't know really what to do, so I went ahead and just tried to catch the Outrage, which is amazing because it worked out on my I want to say Mega Aggron again, onto my Shadow Aggron here, allowing me to at least take some damage there, and they're going to of course still get to some Awkward Tails. I have to shield once, and I have to get basically the Stone Edge through as well. But I'm actually going to let this move go through. Aggron did this job to already put him really low, take some move there, and I was able now to align my Ampharos with it, which is not a good matchup, but still allows me to get a free fast move through here. Going to be the Awkward Tail. The opponent cannot do anything with their Dragalge or also with their what's called Jellicent there anyway against my team, and we all see them going into the Jellicent here, which means they might be weak against Ampharos in the back. Kinda want to swap out eventually, but they're gonna go for one charge move here. It's going to be the Bubble Beam only. I'm going to swap out now. We see a Mandibuzz coming in. It's going to be an Air/Mandibuzz, which is even worse for me because they can farm me all the way down. They have 3 moves already here. 4 moves coming in now. So that's going to be a tough one. We will see the Sludge Bombs connecting here. 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, they need 2 more to get to 2 charge moves, which is nice to know. So I will be able to get one fast move through here, and they still won't be able to get to another charge move in time because I can farm them all the way down now. I have 2 moves stored here. I will be able to go for 1 Thunder Punch here, and this Thunder Punch is going to get the shield, and I can go for another one to knock out the opponent. Ampharos as well, such a cool Pokemon. I really like this Pokemon. It's like so fun. Honestly, his team is just amazing. It's so fun to play. You can also use the non-shadow version, at least for the Ampharos. The bulk doesn't really hurt it too much there. For the Aggron, I feel like the shadow version really helps. What doesn't help is a lead against Galvantula. This Pokemon is tricky to deal with. I can of course have it later on, maybe against the Aggron, which should be nice, but it's going to be a tough one to win. We will see that we can go for one Sludge Bomb here. The Sludge Bomb going to get the shield already, and I'm going to swap out into my also Electric type here. We'll be able to resist their fast moves, they resist my fast moves, and they can go for one Lunge, as I can go ahead and go for my own charge move here, which they catch on an Alolan Sand Slash, which is kind of wild. As I can go ahead and go for another Thunder Punch here. We don't really do too much damage because we are also debuffed, otherwise we actually would hurt them quite a lot. But Now it is time to use our Aggron. Aggron has now a shield advantage, which we're going to lose now anyway, but we're going to get an energy advantage, which is amazing for this Pokemon, because we already know that they have a Galvantula, and most people don't expect Rock-type Pokemon in this cup. We see a Jellicent coming in, which allows us to go into our own Venusaur, and we can try to knock them out here, at least with the Frenzy Plant, which they're going to shield up, which is amazing, because now we're just going to rely fully on our Aggron. Aggron going to have the best time of its life here, going to be able to farm down the Galvantula. We can go for one Meteor Beam against the Jellicent. They're gonna go for the bubble. I don't care. Meteor Beam coming through, going to do a ton of damage. And the Stone Edge is coming next. We already won at this point of time because we win CMP against them. Shadow Ball doesn't do anything anyway, as we can go ahead and go for the Stone Edge to knock them out. And we actually won this game as well. Again, so many horrible leads and we still came back from that. We see a good lead here, finally. With a Swampert in the lead, that's something I want to see. Ferrothorn is something I don't want to see. There is nothing on this team that can beat Ferrothorn. If this Pokemon has Flash Cannon, it's basically game over at this point of time. If that Thunder, I can at least go like head to head with my Venusaur, I think. It is Thunder, which is cool. I can still go for another Sludge Bomb here because I have to try to get some damage there. Sludge Bomb is single resisted while my other Frenzy Plant would be double resisted. And I can catch the move here at least onto my Ampharos, which is going to be the Thunder, which does basically 0 damage. I can go for the Brutal Swing, but they're going to swap on their Swampert, allowing me later to farm them down at least and get this Pokemon off my Aggron, which might help me out in the back as well. We can go for 2 Brutal Swings, gonna get them low. And this will allow them also, they have to throw here now, which is amazing. Hydro Cannon, of course, going to knock us out, but because they're going to throw now immediately against my Venusaur, I know that this is a Hydro Cannon, allowing me to farm them all the way. And I will be able to just now get some extra energy, and I'm going to swap out immediately as we face a Charizard coming in. They're locked into this matchup, they are very, very low already, and there's not a lot that they can do at this point. I'm going to shield up the Power Whip. I should have let the first move go through already though. Meteor Beam coming through, allowing me to buff my attack here. And at this point of time, we can just farm them all the way. We're just going to let one move go through because Blast Sprint does more damage than Power Whip. And we will be able to farm them down in time. They're going to forfeit here, and this is going to be a good game there. The win streak still goes on. We have now another game here with a horrible lead, with a Ninetales in the lead there, which has Powders. Now, if it had Charm, it would be a good lead, but we get out the Fighting type, which is amazing, which is also one of the main ideas for the team. Having the Ampharos with a lead that really beats Fighting types helps out basically always getting out the Fighting types, which is really cool. Usually Fighting types can win Switch advantage still, but here at least we're going to be able to get a Shield advantage, which is cool. I could shield and try to go for another charge move, but it was a little bit risky, so I'm going to let this move go through. It's going to be a foul play as well. And I can just go for one Frenzy Plant, allowing me to have now a shield advantage. And unless they have another fighter in the back, our Aggron most likely going to have a great time here. Let's see, we're going to see the Ninetales and we see a Jellicent in the back again. This is tough. I'm going to have to call the move here. I have to call that this is a bait, and I hope that's a bait. It is a Bubble Beam, which is nice. They're going to go ahead and go for another bait. I think that was a CMP type. We can go for the Meteor Beam and going to do not enough damage, but we're going to get the shield, which is nice. I'm going to let this move go through. Bubble Beam, not doing too much. They're going to have Hex and not Bubble, so they don't do too much damage with their fast move as well. And I can now go ahead, shield this move up, and swap out eventually into my Venusaur onto the charge move, but they're going to not throw. We're going to see them throwing here with the Ninetales. I have to let this move go through. It's going to be the Weather Ball, and they can farm it down now, which might be a problem if they get too much energy there, as our Aggron will not be able to survive another Weather Ball from them. I have to hope that I can knock them out with one fast move. Let's see, we're going to shield this move up, of course, and it will not knock them out, but they still need another fast move, and we can go for the Meteor Beam here to knock out the opponent's Jellicent and say goodbye to that one. Honestly, Aggron is insane. Like, this Pokemon is so much fun to play. And I think this is the loss that I had. And actually, sadly, I have to say I could have won this game as well. And this kind of lost me the win streak in general. I just had to play a little bit more risky. Here we see a neutral lead that I don't really like to see because, again, we need basically to get out the Fighting types for the Aggron. Here we get out the Fighting type, which is cool. But we will have to go and let this move go through. It's going to be the Rock Slide. We will be able to go ahead and go for another charge move here as well. Going to be the Thunder Punch. Going to get the shield advantage, which is nice. And we're going to go ahead and go into our Venusaur. So far, so good. We will be able to farm them all the way down. I can shield once here, and they're going to try to reach another Rock Slide, which does not work out for them. And I have two Frenzy Plants now. I should just throw immediately. If I threw immediately, I would have won CMP tie here, which is amazing. And I would not take the next charge move damage. which would allow me to definitely win this game. I tried to swap out, they have 2 bodies and I'm stored here. And as we're going to find out now, they're going to have in the back a Blastoise. So like they completely hardwalled me, like there was not a lot that I can really do there. Could have played out the lead, but then I would have lost because of the Machamp in the back that would have just swept me. But if I just went straight twice for the Frenzy Plant, I would have won this final game as well. But so be it. Hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you did, and I hope I see you in the next video. Bye bye.